everyone. Oh, tonight's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a fun show. It's a lonely show, I got to say, because Donna is not here tonight. Donna is not here. She is visiting a friend in North Carolina. But I know it's going to be a good show because I have a few things to talk about, even though it's open mic night. I have a few things to go over. And probably most importantly, I've been pre-gaming since like 4 o'clock. So, woo! Oh man, hello everyone. Diane or Diana. Hi Diana. John Kennedy, Melissa Kennedy. What? JD, John without an H. Jay, what's up? Gregory, Lucas. Oh, Steve, what's up? Redman. Robert's here. Wow, Cindy Lee. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you. Oh man. Why didn't you come to North Carolina with her? Because I have to work. All right, so I'm going to, even before I get to the rules, I got to put a disclaimer out there. Please be patient with me tonight because without Donna here helping, I'm left to the comments all to myself. Oh, there's Donna. She's in the chat room. So it's going to be, I'm going to try and keep up with the comments, but it's going to be really difficult. I mean, if I see Tim Vickers pop in, I might actually recruit him and see if he can, because he's StreamYard lets you pick someone to kind of be a co-host. Well, not kind of. They get to be a co-host. So if he pops in, I might like recruit him and say, "Hey, help me out here." So, so tonight, let's get to the rules because what is the world without rules? Chaos. That's what it is. All right. The rules are: number one, you are free to ask any kind of questions you want. That's fine. I mean, if they're really out there, I'm not going to answer it. I'm just going to move on. But I'll try and answer as much as I can. And that leads into rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. But we can learn together. I mean, really, if it's a good question and we have time to get into it because no one else is posting questions tonight, I mean, we'll get into it. We'll pull up some information. I'll share the screen and you guys will learn as I learn. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here. And that's very important. Be nice until it's time not to be nice. And we're probably going to touch on that a little bit tonight in the beginning. Because, well, it says here Donna will boot your butt, but she can't boot nothing tonight because she ain't here. I'll get to boot your butt. And I'm a lot more tolerant. I got to say. I think all things considered, I'm a lot more tolerant than Donna. She'll boot your butt real fast. Me, no. I let you hang around for as long as possible. All right. So rule number four. If you do have a question for tonight, because it is open mic night, if you do have a question, please put a Q in front of it, a capital Q. That'll help because again, I'm by myself. I tried to recruit Chewy, but as you can see, wait. Oh man, I can't even show her. Because I can't stretch the camera. She's in her bed. She's actually in her bed. She came up and conked out. All right. So rule number 5, which is my favorite, and I've been doing it again since 4 o'clock. Drink up. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Extra chaos because I'll be missing the comments. That's right. I probably will be, and I apologize in advance. I'm not going to try to miss the comments, but I'm gonna do the best I can. So let's see. Hi everyone. There's so many people in here. That's awesome. I love seeing everyone come in here. Thank you guys for showing up on your Friday nights. Let's see. JD Sword. First question is, where's Rummy? Rummy is with my father-in-law. So when we got Rummy, we also got Misty, which is Rummy's sister, and Misty went to my father-in-law. So this past week has been a little, well, I don't know what it is because Donna went to visit Diana. So Diana's in the chat room too. She's down there with her. They're hanging out. And she took Rummy up to her father to play with her sister for a while. And then Chewy just stayed with me because Chewy's old and like me and, we just sit and do nothing. When we're alone, we're just sitting and do nothing. I play video games. She sits on the couch and watches me. So there you go. A few things. Smoke up. I can't smoke up. John Kennedy. I wish I could. I can't anymore. I used to be able to, but I can't because my current job does not allow that yet. So, let's see. I try not to miss the show. This is my weekly Cheers bar meeting. I agree. I agree. I actually missed your show. I missed your show Sunday because you didn't have it because of Easter, and I was upset because I was like, I was actually sitting on the couch, laptop on my lap, waiting, and then I saw your message saying, enjoy Easter. I'm like, fuck, damn it. Oh well, no big deal. So yeah, tonight is open mic night. So with that in mind, you guys know the drill. The locals, because some of you are locals. John without an H, John Kennedy, Tiffany, JD Sword, a lot of you, Melissa, Kennedy. I got to get used to saying that. A lot of you guys are all local, so you know what the deal is with open mic night. You ask the questions, I give you an opinion. Sometimes it's an informed opinion, and sometimes it's not. Bob's also a local, and he's late. Do I get a detention? Well, I don't know. See, I'm messing up the comments already. I'm local from 2 time zones away. That's right. Oh, we got a question. What's this? Robert, what's up? Question, Kenny, would you, Dave, and Tim consider doing a show about Oak Island? Oh my God, fucking Oak Island. Donna's probably laughing her ass off right now reading that. So I would do, you know what? I'll write that down. Oak Island. We'll do we'll probably put that out for a topic because we're always looking for topics. Because we rotate in that show, it's always difficult. We're never prepared. We always pick a topic like 3 days, usually Wednesday. Even though we know, like I know I'm the next one up, it's not until Wednesday that we pick a topic. And I know for at least me and Dave, we wait till Saturday to start researching it. And Tim is like all week. Tim is like, I'm researching topics all week, and he does a deep dive. So this is a good topic. We can probably get into that. I personally hate Oak Island. Ooh, we got a Darth Binks. Dude, that is awesome name. I like that. You ever consider joining the Truth Wanted show? I think you would be great there. I don't know what that is. Send me a link if you can. Email me or I'll look it up. You know what? I'll put it in the comments now. Or in my my book here. Truth. What is it called? Truth Wanted. All right. What was I talking about? Oh, Oak Island. So my wife, Donna, loves that show. Loves it. And I can't stand it. Mostly, I will put most of the blame on the narrator. The guy that narrates the show annoys the fuck out of me. Like his voice. It's always like, did they find an ancient relic in the island? Was it only 2 inches down? Did they actually put it there and then find it on camera? I mean, oh my God, I hate that guy so much. But then, yeah, I mean, I pick out a lot of things. Like they always pick out, they always find something. Every show they find something, and it's always like an inch or 2 in the ground. It's not like if it was like 200 years ago, I would expect it to be like 6 inches to a foot, something really deep. But no, it never is. All right. You're welcome, Robert. I'll put that down and I'll put it on our list because we do have a list of topics. I know Tim keeps a list of topics as we come up with them during the show. We go through them. And usually when it's like, oh, I don't have a topic, what any ideas? And Tim pops up with the list and we pick from there. All right. So I have a few things. Again, if you have a question, let me find, oh my gosh, I need Donna here. All right, so I'll put the banner up there. Go back to the comments. All right, so a few things I want to go over tonight. One, I might as well set the stage because I was kind of pissed off last week about something. There was a person, and I don't see her in the chat room, which I hopefully will not see her in the chat room, that has been coming to the show for a while and is very, very pushy. And you locals know who I'm talking about. Carol, um, apparently she's been trying to get information on me behind, like, without telling me. She's been trying to get information on me to submit to a college to get me an honorary degree, which it's, if I know the person, if I knew the person, like I was talking to Tim and Dave the other night, and I was like, if it was one of you guys, I'd be okay with it because I know you. But for someone that I do not know to be asking friends of mine, like ask Donna, ask Tim, Dave, and even Bob out there, Bob, asking him about information about me, like personal information, stuff that you just don't ask for, to pass along to a college review board or something like that. It really pissed me off. And some of the comments from this person, she's had interactions with people in the chat room, and I've had enough. So I totally banned her from this show and all the pages that I run. So we shouldn't be seeing her anymore. But I just wanted to put that out there just in case she contacts any of you, because I don't like that. I really don't like that. If you want to work with something or do something like that, an honorary degree, to me, I get it, it's honorary, but to me, it kind of goes with the fake degrees. Like, I'm never going to say, well, I have an honorary degree, so I'm important, because I didn't earn it. So many people out there struggle and work their ass off to study and take tests and learn so much shit to pass bar exams or get their license in certain fields in order to practice stuff that they've learned. So someone just saying, hey, you know what, we kind of like what you do, here's an honorary degree. I don't give into it. I mean, that's just not my thing. I don't want that. I appreciate somebody, like, especially again, if I know them, I appreciate someone considering me, but that's not my spiel. So the one thing that really pissed me off is that Donna had actually made a comment to her saying, I don't think this is a good idea. Please stop. And instead of stopping, this person, Carol, kept going, kept pushing. So gone, and hopefully never to return, at least to this show. So that's one point I want to get through. Another one, it's kind of on the same lines. This is why I'm wearing this shirt. We're talking about assholes tonight. So there was a comment left. If you remember January 21st, I did a show with Jimmy Akin. And Jimmy Akin is he's a senior apologist with the Catholic Answers. And he came on the show, really nice. We were talking about a hoax. I believe it was a priest. I'm not sure if it was a bishop or what. I think it was just a priest that was getting apocalyptic visions or claiming that he was getting these. And through the course of the story, Jimmy Akin actually did a really good investigation into what he was claiming and all the stuff as it relates to logic and reason, but also the belief of the Catholic Church. And he was able to expose this as a hoax. So someone left a comment on this, which I wanted to address, and their name's going to be on here. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see it. And I want to comment on this a little bit. Let me see. Where is it? There it is. All right. So boom. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit. Oh, look at that. Here I go. I can blow it up. I can do stuff. Awesome. Oh, let's see. I'm seeing cues here, so I'm going to try to star them, save them for later. So this is the comment. I don't know who this person is, but they left a comment saying, boy, you must really have no other content to post since you are bringing on a religious nut job to spew the usual jibber jabber from the Bible. One more of these and I'm done watching you. And of course, you can see my comment below here saying, then be gone. I don't care for such a crappy attitude. So on this show, I like JD. Yeah, I'm not pulling punches tonight. Tell you what, pre-gaming, the gloves are off. Because this kind of stuff really pisses me off. This show is a learning show. That's what this show is. We learn together. I'm going to have different people on. yes, it's a skeptical themed show, but the point is to learn. So we've had a psychic on the show. We've had what do we have? Well, what else do we have? Well, we had Jimmy Aiken on, who's a Christian apologist, and we have people that believe in certain things. And I'm going to continue to do that. But in I guess relation to this kind of thing, JD Sword, who's in the chat room now, he's a good friend of mine. He's been on the show, and he is oh, I'm going to get this wrong. You're a member of the Church of Satan, I believe. Let me know in the comments. But I believe that's what he is. So he that's what he follows. And I'm not gonna not have him on the show. In fact, the first time he was on the show was to explain that, was to give us a better idea of this, because this is a learning fucking show. And I want to have somebody on that has that knowledge and says, hey, they can answer questions. We can have a conversation. And just like having Jimmy Aiken on, he's on the other side. Maybe I guess that's how you would put it. Christian Satan. I don't know, whatever. But he's a different belief. Let's put it that way. He has a different belief. He follows a different belief, and he's been doing that for many years. But he came on for a mutual purpose, because he exposed a hoax within his own faith. So yeah, he was the best person to talk to about that. And I don't mind having him on and having people ask questions. And I'm actually going to have him on again in the future, where we can just do a open mic night with him, so people can ask him questions, as long as you're respectful. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. If I want to have a ghost hunter or a psychic or a flat earther, which I'm totally looking for a flat earther that's willing to come on. I'm going to do that. That one, this is my fucking show. Two, it's to expose people to different ideas, different beliefs, and I really back that up. Let's see, what do we got here? Yes, member of Church of Satan. And while you can disagree with the contents of the Christian Bible and the practice of Catholic Church, we should extend courtesy to guests. I agree. They're coming on here knowing. I mean, it says skeptical right in the title. You can't hide that. So they're coming on knowing this is more of a skeptical show, and that they're gonna be asked questions. They're gonna have questions that are hard questions, and I'm not responsible, nor do I usually. What's that? What's the word? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. I don't filter comments or questions. There's a bigger word for that. Oh my gosh, dead air. I hate dead air. I don't restrict comments. So if somebody has a question that's a very awkward or hard question, I don't just ignore it. I let it come on screen and get asked, because that's what the show is about. You can ask those kind of questions. So I'm going to continue to do that. And people like the one that left the comment on that video, you don't have to watch the show. I don't give a shit. I don't make the show for that kind of people. I make it for me, because I love hanging out with you guys. That's what it is. It really comes down to that. All right. So that's the two things. What else do I have? There was a statement brought up earlier. This is the last thing, and then I'll get to some questions. So one of the things that I come across a lot is that when I do make comments, and earlier today, I came across a group that somebody posted something, and it was about angels and demons, and about like their superpowers or something. And I'm paraphrasing because I'm a nerd, and just superpowers is what I'm going to use, not what they used. But they were asking about that, and they ended the question. They kind of were asking, like, do you think angels and demons can do this or do that? And then the last part of it was, all opinions are welcome. So naturally, I gave my opinion. And I mean, I went in, I was respectful, I was nice. I basically said that both were part of mythology, and they were developed and evolved over time. And I mean, you can basically say they can do whatever they want, because it's part of mythology. These are characters in the story, in our belief systems, and you can actually add whatever superpowers you want to fit your narrative. And I said it in a really nice way. And then I was told, blocked. I'm done. I couldn't see the group anymore. I couldn't see anything. So I was like, oh shit. So yeah, let me catch up on some of the comments here. Oh, wait, what's that? Having trouble. Locals got you back. Oh, thank you, Bob. Appreciate that. Joe Downey, shut the fuck up. Why is Leia covered up? Because she likes to wear it. She's cold, maybe. I don't. Shut up. Let's see. Absolutely, Kenny. Feel free to send me these people. I will destroy them. There's no need. I appreciate that. I want to say that up front. I appreciate that. But there's no need to keep going with that. Like people like that leave comments on that, on my videos like that. I'm used to it. There's no need to really get into it with them. I left a comment saying I really don't care about your attitude. You don't have to watch that. I'm going to do what I want to do. But getting back to this, usually when I have fights with this, and somebody brought this up, when I have arguments or discussions, the comments come up about if you're a non-believer, and they usually spell your Y-O-U-R. But if you're a non-believer, why are you even in this group? Because I am I'm a member of a lot of paranormal groups, and I do it to keep up to date on what people are doing. Like I want to know what ghost hunters and Bigfoot hunters and UFO hunters are doing, what they're doing, how they're doing it, what they think justifies their beliefs and or methodologies. I want to know all this stuff, so I keep up to date with them. And once in a while, I want to comment. So that's the way it's going to be. And I get that kind of response. Like, why are you even in this field? First of all, it's a hobby. I mean, as far as my perspective, it's a hobby. It's not a field. At least not to the thousands of amateur ghost hunters and stuff like that I usually deal with. It is not a field. It's just a hobby that they do on the weekends, and that's about it. So, but I am a non-believer, and I still have an opinion. I still like to investigate, and I still like to, see what's going on. My favorite is when people say, "Hey, if you only come with me, you'll be a believer." Like, let's go. Where do I have to be? What time? Let's go. And usually, like 9 times out of 10, probably like 9.8 times out of 10, I don't get invited to those things. So it's not on me. All right, I'm done ranting. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I just wanted to get it off my chest because it was bothering me, and it was really pissing me off all week, especially with the someone that's not here anymore. She got me. Oh my God, she got me fucking fired up. All right, so let's look questions. Again, this show tonight is about you guys. I'm actually going to look at this. I don't do this often, but I'm going to put. Oh shit, I'm fucking up. I need Donna here because I'm fucking up this whole thing. All right, so I'm going to put the link to join the show in the chat room. It's in there. So if you have a question that you want to really get into, or a topic you want to discuss for a few minutes, by all means, come on in and we can chat for a few minutes, and then I will kick you out to let somebody else come in. All right. So first question here I got is from JD. What do you think about that article and video I sent you earlier? Oh, okay. So I have this queued up, and so there was an article. Let me. I'm going to share this so we can go from there. Let's see. Boom. All right. So it says National Ghost Hunter impressed by the amount of activity at a local manor. So it talks about in Greenville, PA, which I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm interested now. Maybe me and JD can, team up and go. But there was a ghost hunter that went in. Doesn't show the picture. Where's the video? I thought there was a video. Maybe it's after the commercial. I don't know. There was a video of this gentleman, but I actually have. Let's see. Here's a clip. Oh crap! I gotta fix this. Hold on. See, I'm screwing up now because I'm all messed up. Let me see. Here is a clip that should have been in a news clip, but it's not. So the ghost hunter, which is not either of these people. These people own this this bed and breakfast, I believe, that they claim is haunted. And the ghost hunter, which you'll see in a second when I hit play, I want you to see the attitude that they get. So this guy is filming a video for his YouTube channel, I think. And let me set it up here. These two were talking about going into the basement and seeing like a 7-foot tall figure or something like that. And they run into the house to find it. And I want you to notice how the other guy, which will appear in a second, how he reacts.
Got in that basement, I saw about a 7-foot figure, and I thought somebody was squatting inside the building, which is not possible.
Yeah.
I ran after this figure to go upstairs. There was nobody there. It was just, no one was here. How do you explain that?
Yeah, I don't know. Now, one other question. So it wasn't just all like.
All right, so that's the ghost hunter there, and the thing that really stood out to me with this is that the guy, the homeowner, I guess the guy that owns the building, was like, "There's a 7-foot tall thing here. How do you explain that?" And this ghost hunter here goes, "Yeah, I don't know. Let me ask you another question." It just blew him off. Totally unacceptable. I really don't like that. I think this whole thing with this guy, first of all, and I was talking to JD earlier about this, I have a bias against people that wear cowboy hats during an investigation. There's no rational explanation for it. I'm not going to apologize for it. I just do not like it. It just rubs me the wrong way. But that aside, this entire news report was just a joke. It was a fluff piece to fill in time. So I guess they didn't have much news going on in whatever city this was, at Greenville. So during the clip, again, I don't have the rest of the clip, but during the clip, a door closes. So they're like walking down a hallway and you hear a door slam shut on the floor above them and they freak out. They do like the whole ghost hunter things, like, oh my God, and there's dramatic music and they go up to try to figure out what's going on. But it's just a door closing. It's not even something that slams like really loud, like right behind them where it's like, boom. That probably scared the shit out of you. It's really subtle and it's way in the background, so it's not scary at all. So JD, your question, what do I think about the article and the video? And you know what? I'm gonna actually I'll post the article in the chat room for everyone so they can check it out and get a better idea what I'm talking about here. Let's see, paste. There we go. So what do I think about this article and video? I think it was a fluff piece. That's it. There's nothing more to it. The news just didn't have any news to report on. And they're like, oh, well, somebody was interested in ghosts or ghost hunting that worked at the station and said, hey, this local guy was here in the local place. Let's do a story on that. It'll feel like, 5 minutes. So that's as far as I go. But I think the whole thing was a joke. All right. Let me see here. Did I get all my questions? I'm trying to get to all the comments and or questions. Oh, statement. What is this? Another thought. The cowboy ghost hunter is trying to attract cowboy ghosts. You never know. Oh my God. I'm just checking through, making sure I got all the cues. All right. So that's good. Let's see. Take that off screen. What about this one? JD says, what about TTS, Three Tortured Souls? I don't know what you're referring to with that. I'm not sure. Make sure, come back on and correct me. I don't know what that is. Let's see. John Kennedy, what's the blue book behind you about? Oh, I'm reading this. This is from Stuart Vise. It's called The Uses of Delusion. And I just got it. It just came out. I just started reading it. And what I believe it's about is being rational. You can be rational, but once in a while, you need to employ your delusions. You need to just let your delusions run free. And I think in the the first like kind of like Cliff Notes story that he tells, or that I read about this, is that a friend of his was in a car accident and passed away, and him and a bunch of other friends were consoling the buddy's wife, and I think she believed that she was still, or I'm going to screw this up because I just started reading it. I think she was leaving like his shoes out, his like slippers by the bed, and this and that because she thought he was coming back. It's just about like, I guess to sum it up, don't be a dick when you don't have to be. You know, like I love being skeptical. I love being critical about claims and stuff. But once in a while, you do not have to be that guy. You don't have to be that person. You could actually say, you know, okay, if somebody has a belief that like their loved one just passed away, and they had this comforting belief that for some reason they're still with them, you know, like in the very quiet hours of the night, like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, they can wake up and they almost feel like their husband or wife is still next to them. You don't have to be that guy and say, well, you know, it's probably this, it's probably that. You don't have to be. You can say, does that make you feel good? You know, does that bring you comfort? Yes. Good. You know, like, all right, cool. And that's it. You don't have to go any further with it. Sometimes our delusions are necessary. And this book is really, really good. I mean, Stuart is, let me read this to make sure I get it right. Stuart is a PhD in behavioral scientist, teacher, and writer. So smart guy. And he also writes a column for Skeptical Inquirer. I think a behavioral column for Skeptical Inquirer. So I'm getting through it. I just ordered the book. I'm going to read through it. I'm going to try and get through it in the next week, and then have him on the show because I think this would be a great topic to get into. Hopefully you guys do too. Let's see. Oh, I got so many questions popping up. I am going to get so far behind. I'm going to get so far behind. All right. So let's see. Boom. Boom. Take that off. And then let's see. When is the next 3TS movie? A 3 Tortured Souls movie night. So we have to pick a movie. We do have to pick a movie. I know that Tim and Dave, I know Dave's on a super secret mission this weekend. I know exactly where he is, but I know he's away all this week or this weekend. So we don't have a show tomorrow night. Just in case you were hopeful, we don't have a show tomorrow night. So when he gets back, we'll talk about it. I know Tim had something to do. He was going to visit his daughter. So when they both get back, we're gonna figure that out. But we had some suggestions. What did we have? I don't know. I like doing the really old horror movie kind of things, the really old ones, not like pre-Exorcist and stuff. The weird and just kooky ones that you might see on like a Mystery Science Theater. That's the kind of stuff that I love to see. All right. That I don't know about. I don't know. I know at least 2 of us were really, really pissed off. So I don't know how that's going to go. And that's something for when they get back. Let's see. Is the banned person banned? I love how this is funny. All right. When is the first installment of the Puppy Help Bar? No, stop it. Jeez. Did Donna put you up to that? Oh my God. All right. Let me see here. Any other questions? There is another question. Let's see. Let me start that and go through some of these. Make sure. Okay, good. So only one question here. Redman, what's up, buddy? Are there any ghost hunting groups out there that are doing anything new as they investigate that has gotten your attention or interest? So not really. I mean, I will say I'll give you guys a preview, a sneak peek. So this is a sneak peek in the next video that I'm doing for my Ghost in the Machine video series for Skeptical Inquirer. Basically, I went on a ghost hunt. I went up to the Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York, and I was invited by James Anito and Carl Johnson, who is one part of the Keith and Carl Johnson fame. But both of them invited me up, and I was able to stay the night there. And I did a video. I filmed the entire time, and went through a whole bunch of stuff. And there's good parts. I can't wait for this video to come out because I'm probably going to piss off a few people. But I gotta say, I gotta give props to James and Carl, because I went up there early. Like, the event didn't start till I think 6 o'clock that night. I get up there around noon, so I had a good 6 hours before, everyone else showed up, like 25 some people, and that meant there were only 5 of us, and James, Carl, me, and then 2 ladies that I had just met. So we went through. They did an EVP session, and normally, like, I don't agree with EVP sessions. I think it's kind of silly, but I don't come out and just say, you guys are silly, you guys are dumbasses. No, because I want to see what happens. I want to see what they're doing. So they went along with it, and I was picking out noises. Like, they were like, oh, what's that noise? What's that noise? And instead of just sitting there, we actually got up and went around the house and found the sources of these noises. One was a refrigerator. One was this place has, they're not bars per se, but they look more like chain link fence on the windows, but like thicker. I don't know what you would call them. Just metal cages on the windows, because it's up there. It's not lived in, so they're trying to protect it from people breaking in. But we got up and we looked for these noises. EMF meters have a tendency to go off in the main living room, and I was like, let's try it. And they got out. They gave me one of theirs, and we actually went through and looked for sources of it, which turned out to be the Wi-Fi router. With the Wi-Fi router was putting out EMF through the entire first floor, and it could be picked up by a K2 meter, like almost through the entire first floor. So that was a big deal. But it was nice to see ghost hunters that usually, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, but usually promote more belief-based ideas, but they were willing to really try and look, and they wanted to learn more, especially James. James was really into learning more about what could cause these devices to go off. And then, of course, there was a seance with some table moving around. Bullshit. Which I was able to demonstrate afterwards. Unfortunately, I didn't video that because they didn't have someone else with me to video it, but I was able to demonstrate and actually do it better than the guy that was faking it. But anyway, so that's encouraging. I don't know if that answers your question, Red Man, but it did get me my attention, because it was like, wow, all right, like, all this work that I do with going up and interacting with people and having conversations and discussions, it's starting to pay off, because not only did this person invite me up, but they wanted me to do what I do. And they were right there with me. They weren't pissed off. They weren't trying to discourage it. They weren't trying to hide it from other people. It was open and just let it happen, and they learned from it. So at least that I think that caught my interest, and I'm hoping that it continues. So we'll see. Hopefully that answered your question. See, John Michael, Kenny, whenever people ask about ghost hunting teams, don't forget Ghost Guild and Harzini Mysteries. So yes, you're right, John. Oh, John, if you want to come on, John without an H, if you want to come on, if you have that, what we talked about, that clip, if you have that ready, or if you want to come on real quick and talk about that. John and his group did a really cool experiment. They reached out to me and asked me about something and ideas about a piece of audio that they had captured, and it was really, really cool. I gave them some suggestions, some things that just off the top of my head, they were able to go back to the location and set it up, and they were able to actually recreate the event and figure out what it was. So I'm not going to spoil it. If he wants to come on and talk about it, that's great. And we'll go from there. All right. So, oh my goodness. Let me see. I'm getting so far behind. Let's see. I think I got that question. Wow. All right. So Redman. All right. I did answer that one. As a skeptic, what would you like to see them do? I would like them. I'd like to see. I'm going to assume here that you mean like ghost hunting groups, or any kind of groups that are investigating mysteries. I would like them to see. I would like them to see. What is that? I would like to see them do better documentation. Think about the experiments that they want to do, and use proper controls over those experiments. So documentation is really important. I don't see anyone take notes. No one takes notes. Every ghost hunt that I've attended in the last couple of years, I have not seen one person take out a notebook and write anything down. Not take a recorder out and do audio notes that can be dictated later. I have not seen any of that. I want to see that kind of stuff, because when you are in the moment, when you're at this location and you're in the moment and things are happening, you're not taking notes down. So you're depending on yourself remembering it. And then when you get home, like if you have a long drive home, or if it's a couple of days later before you decide to go through the pictures or the video, you're not going to remember all the details. At least you have a written record that was taken at the time. And that's why notes are so important. Like things are happening, I write down everything as I go. I have a clipboard. Some people have seen it. It's a red clipboard with all my strategies actually written out on the back of it. But I have the clipboard, I have paper on it, and I go through it. I write down everything that's going on, details, what I see, who's talking, who's doing what. Whatever I can document, I document. And then otherwise, I have my phone all the time on a rig, so I can record everything. Like the Hinsdale house, when I went up there, I have probably I don't know, like 8 hours of video, at least 8 hours of video, just myself. And actually that's times 2. So I have 16 hours of video because I had 2 phones going. I had my regular phone and I had my older phone, which is still good video. It still does 4K video. So I had that on a rig and I was taking video all over the place. And I had to chop that down to like 45 minutes, which basically like a ghost hunting show. But I did it more of a skeptical slant this time. So I want to see better documentation. I wanted them to if they're going to do an experiment, to sit down first and plan it out. Like, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Why are we doing this? What's the question? What's the hypothesis? You know, do you think ghosts can communicate via a broken radio? Is that your question that you're starting with? All right, what do you plan to do? Write it all out, plan it all out, and then look at what you wrote down and say, okay, what could manipulate this? What could screw this up? Let's list all the variables that could possibly screw up our experiment, and then we gotta think of controls to control those. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see more reaching out for expert advice from people that are in various fields of study, like real fields of study, not just other ghost hunters. Go to scientists, go to people that have some kind of knowledge in that area, whatever area that you're investigating. Seek out the experts and then talk to them. Just get their opinions. Oh, there's so much. We can go on. We can do a whole show on this. Maybe we'll do. I think 3 Tortured Souls did a show like this, and we'll probably do another one. All right, so I'm gonna keep going here because I know I'm getting behind. Let's see, Robert, go on, John. Notes are extremely important to scientific method for accuracy. I guess I agree. Not I guess I agree. I just memorize everything. That's the problem. How many times have you guys, like everyone, this is for everyone, how many times have you said, oh yeah, I'll remember that, and you don't? I mean, it happens all the time. I used to do it a lot, and now like I have notebook, notebook, notebook. This stays where my wallet used to go in my back pocket. So I always have notes on this notebook over there. I have a ton of notes. Like there's a whole thing of notes here that I keep. There's a big pile, but I write everything down because I know I'm not going to remember it. Let's see. Memory is so faulty. Writing things down at that time is so important. I agree because you have a it's not a complete snapshot, but at least you have your perspective at the time written down so you can refer back to those notes, what you were thinking, what you were looking at, what you heard, everything. Write it down so that days later, weeks later, months later, when you need to come back and say, all right, what was happening in that moment, you can go and say, oh, I have a whole description of that moment according to my perception. So let's see. You need a Donna. That's right. You need a Donna notebook. Donna's got her own notebook. It's over here. It's still here. Where she writes down all the questions and guesses when I do the remote viewing and stuff like that. All right. Let's see. What is that? Let me go to some questions here. All right. So I did that one. Bob's question. I know they exist, but have you ever bumped into someone claiming to be a vampire? I know they exist. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, vampire hunter. Oh, I got to read the whole question before I comment. I know they exist, but have you ever bumped into someone claiming to be a vampire hunter at any of the paranormal conventions you have attended? No, I have not. And I've seen the commercial. So there's a commercial out there somewhere where I saw it. There was like a television show coming that it was all based on some guy telling or saying that he was a vampire hunter. I saw that. I've never come across someone that I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh. That's so funny. Vampire fucking hunter. Oh, what are they doing? Like everyone's got a gimmick anymore. Really? No, I have never come across a vampire hunter. I've never come across a werewolf hunter either. Maybe we should start our own show there, Bob. We should do werewolf hunters. Whew. All right. Let's see. Next question. Darth Biggs. Oh, I love that. I just want to put on my Jedi robe when I read that name. All right. Question. Slightly off topic from Ghost. How do you deal with people who believe in COVID-19? Bill Gates conspiracy theories. I struggle as I see their worldview so far from actual reality. I'm not sure what you mean here. The COVID-19 Bill Gates conspiracy, is that all one thing? Or are you separating them? I see the comment there, but I mean, COVID-19 is real. Bill Gates is also real. Or are you talking about like Bill Gates is responsible for creating COVID-19? I don't know what this refers to. So yeah, I'm a little confused. I'm not sure. I'm not up to date on this. So give me some more clarification and then we can come back to that. Jay, what's up, buddy? Do you think there could be a connection between, oh my goodness, I'm going to butcher this, lithobolia, demon throwing stones in the 1600s, and Bigfoot throwing stones, showing how myths develop with the change of society and technology? That's interesting. That's interesting. I've never heard of the first one. Excuse me. I've never heard of the demon throwing stones in the 1600s. I've never actually heard that. That's something that's really interesting, and I'm going to have to look into that. Lithobolia. All right. Demons throwing stones. That sounds like a really bad game. It's like, they're bored. They have no one to possess. So let's throw some stones at people. But I mean, if seeing the evolution, the connection, I mean, it could be something that the stories evolved over time. I mean, we see myths evolve and develop and borrow from different cultures as people travel around and add their own little flirt or not what's the word? They add their own little spice to the story, if you will. To add their own little part, their little element. So they add it to it. So I could maybe like I've heard about Bigfoot allegedly throwing stones at houses and stuff where people are in there and they claim that the rocks are hitting the roof and they assume it's a Bigfoot. I've never seen video of this. I've never heard of a story where people actually went out and saw the creature throwing stones at the house. It's always just it's at night and rocks are hitting the roof or the side of the house, and that's it. There's an assumption that it's Bigfoot, but there's no hard evidence of it. So yeah, I mean, I there could be a connection. I don't know, but there could be between the stories. I could see somebody lifting part of that earlier story and applying it to a Bigfoot story. So yeah. All right. Good question. Let's see. JD, what's the Golden Navy book behind Stewart's book? Oh, this one. This was late. I got this. It's Bermuda Triangle Mystery Solved. If you watched our 3TS, Three Tortured Souls show last week, we talked about the Bermuda Triangle. I can't say that word. And this is the book that we were talking about. That had a lot of good research in it and really debunked the shit out of that myth. So I ordered it, and it's pretty thick. I mean, it's 300 pages. It's a lot of work. So that came today. All right. Let's see. Oh man, my nose is getting stuffy. I feel like I'm getting a cold. Maybe I need to drink more. Let's see. Jade Kitten, what's up, Jade Kitten? Good to see you. You think you remember it, which is worse than not remembering. Yes, I mean that's definitely. I always make sure I say that when I'm not sure. I always try to say I think it was this way, but don't quote me on that. Yeah, that's a common phrase you'll hear from me when I'm explaining a story, and I'm trying to remember, and I don't have all the details. I'll come up with that a lot because I'm not sure. If I'm not sure, I want to make sure you understand I'm not sure, because I don't want you coming back to me and saying you said this, and I'll be like, yeah, but I said I wasn't sure. So I got that. All right. Moving on. Let's see. Hey, people. Hey, John Guy. What's up? Good to see you, buddy. Not a lot of time tonight. Just dropping in for a few. Well, I appreciate it. Let's see. Bob says, I know you have probably mentioned it before, but where did the idea of the remote viewing box come from? So that actually came from, let me get this right. It's been a while. It's been a couple years. There was a guy that did a show. It was a podcast. I love the podcast. It was Skeptic Academy. Oh man, what was it? Paranormal Skeptic Academy, I think. Skeptic Academy. Let me see. That's it. Is it? Let me see here. Let me make sure I got the right one here. That's it. So let's see. There was a guy. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I don't remember his name, but there's still a YouTube channel up. Let's see. I'm going to put the link in the chat room. So there's a YouTube channel called Paranormal Skeptic Academy. And the guy that runs it, or used to run it, he doesn't do it anymore. Really nice guy. I actually met him a couple times, and we did 2 or 3 episodes together of his show. But he used to watch like the ghost hunting shows and did a mystery science theater type of video where he would break in every so often and comment on what was going on during the show. And you'd actually watch the show. And it really, really cool. And we did, I think he did an episode on remote viewing, because there was a remote viewing like special documentary or something that he did. And we got to talking about it. So we did a show together, I think, on that. And then we developed this experiment. We were like, let's try it. Oh, you know what? The Rob Lowe series. Rob Lowe had like this some kind of paranormal series or something where he was delving into weird stuff. And there was an episode on remote viewing. And we saw that, and we decided to do it ourselves. We decided that we would both because he was in North Carolina at the time, that he would pick a destination and go to it. And I would sit here and I would try to focus on him and try to get like all these remote viewing kind of radio signal, whatever happens, and write down what I think he's seeing. And then likewise, I went to a location and I would concentrate, I would look around different things and I would actually talk about what I'm looking at and try to broadcast to him to see if it worked. And we did this whole experiment and it turned out negative. I mean, nothing happened. We followed the episode that we were watching like to the T. We did everything they did. Still nothing happened. We really tried. I mean, you might not believe it, but we really, really did try. And from that, I was like, oh, you know what? This sounds like fun. You know, I could keep doing this. What can I do that would be really cool at conferences that I could take with me and do like some kind of fun like raffle kind of thing. I don't want to do just a raffle, but let me make them work for it, you know, and have this a teaching moment. That's where the idea of the box came from. I was like, all right, let me do this, and I actually got the box. Let me see. So I got it, and it was an old box that I picked up at a yard sale or like a Goodwill store. I was like, this will be perfect. Wrote on it, and then a guy that for a while he had a Facebook page that was called Remote Viewing with Kenny Biddle, and he would post his guesses and stuff. And he told me that I needed a target ID number, so some of you might get that reference. I put that on the back, so that's the target ID. And once in a while, I do a remote viewing challenge, and one person has won. I can say that one person has won. It wasn't actually remote viewing; it was a guess. I got to put that disclaimer in. It still bugs me if somebody won, but you know, it's cool. It's good. It's all in fun. So that's where it came from. All right. What else? Let's see. I've seen it too, Kenny. Thought it was a joke. Let's see. Statement. I would totally do a werewolf hunting show so long as it includes mummies and other Halloween monsters. I'm up for it. I am up for it. Let's see. Steve. Well, don't great apes do the stone throwing as well, not just Bigfoot? I don't know. I don't know. Like I've seen a few. Like I spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos, and I mean that sounds like a conspiracy theorist, but I don't watch conspiracy theories. I watch like nature programs and nature documentaries and stuff, and I've never seen anything that talked about great apes throwing stones at houses and stuff. So I don't know about that. Oh shit, we're almost at the pee break. One more question, and we're gonna go for the pee break because I got to go. Redman, why did your Bigfoot guest get up and go water a tree on a Bigfoot hunt and not grab a camera so we could have witnessed the youth squatch he claimed he saw? That was long-winded. I don't know. I don't remember that particular story. I'd have to go back and look at the show. Because honestly, I mean, so Steve Coles, which is the guy you're talking about, Steve and I have a very love-hate relationship. We can get along professionally, but we always do end up, and I'm saying this in a nice way, I'm not trying to be mean, but we always end up arguing. Like we always end up in a heated debate. And there's some people, Donna can attest to this. I mean, it's gotten really heated at times. Where I mean, not as heated as me and the psychic guy at the one conference. But we've gotten heated. And so we really didn't get along for a long time. And I don't I guess with this instance, I don't believe that he actually saw a Bigfoot. I mean, that's just to put it right out there. I don't believe that he actually saw a Bigfoot. I think he saw something, and what it was, I don't know what it was, but I don't think he had a good enough view or a good enough. I don't think he was near any equipment. I don't think he had a chance to get documentation, or maybe it wasn't worth it. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer the question without getting into more detail. And this is a situation where we're hearing it from the person that allegedly witnessed it, but it's how long? Years after the fact. So I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer your question. Sorry. I tried. All right. Let me move on here. You know what? I'll read this and then we will take our pee break. Stupid experiment idea. Do a remote viewing box one night without a prize at the end. Maybe the prize gets the adrenaline going and adrenaline blocks the power to see inside the box. Energy. Fuck you, Bob. All right. With that, we're going to take a break. I'm going to play our video commercial break. You have about 3 minutes to go empty your bladders and then fill up your cups if you have to. Come back. I expect to see a whole bunch of questions all set up, but not too many because we only have an hour left, and you know how I talk. So with that, here's the commercial. I'll see you in 3 minutes.
Satanic cults lurk in the shadows. Can memories of satanic ritual abuse be repressed? Do exorcisms really drive out? And are those demons always possessing Agons? I'm JD, the Satanic Skeptic. Join me on The Devil in the Details as I examine these questions and more, bringing a skeptical and satanic perspective to the paranormal. The Devil in the Details. Available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more.
Hail Satan!
Are you tortured by what you see and hear about the paranormal field? Join us as we critically examine and question paranormal claims, science, ghosts, demons, cryptids, UFOs, ghost hunting technology, and much more are all on the table for discussion. Three Tortured Souls video podcast that streams live on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 Pacific.
Oh, I love that countdown at the end of the commercial. That helps a lot. Oh, all right. We are back. What am I going to do here? I am going to put the link again in the chat room in case anyone wants to ask their question in person and be on the show. You have to have a webcam and a microphone. That helps. But let's see. We got some questions here. I did that one from JD. We got a statement Every time you bring up a memory, you see it through your current perspective, which consistently changes. I agree. Memory is, as far as I've read and researched from people like Elizabeth Loftus and others that deal with memory. Memory is not stored at like a videotape or a hard drive. It is stored in bits and pieces, and you recreate that memory. You reassemble that memory every time you recall it. So, current biases and filters can bleed in, influences from other people, especially if you hear the same kind of story or someone else was there at the time and they give their version, they might influence how you recreate your story. So, memory is just not reliable completely. It's a starting point, and I always try to fit that in there. It's always a starting point. Your anecdotes, your memory of what happened, it's a starting point. Let's document that and then move on and see, okay, you said this, let's see if we can test it and go from there. So good point, though. Let's see. I'm going to get through one more question, and we have somebody on. Oh, my goodness. I love when he comes on. All right. This is from Bob. If you could take over as host of just one episode of a TV show, doesn't have to be paranormal, which show would it be? Which show would I take over? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Gotcha, bitch. Yeah, I would totally take over that show. Be a Jedi. Yeah. All right. Good question. Let me see. Let me take that off. And let me get to this one. This is from Darth. He was updating this. Apologies. Just in regards to people who think Bill Gates is the cause of COVID, thinking that vaccines have nanotech to track us, to depopulate the world, thinking vaccines are poison. I guess, how do you approach that kind of stuff? And he follows up here. Just a few I have to deal with. Just really far-fetched views. Was interested if you deal with anyone with these extreme beliefs. So I haven't dealt with those kind of extreme beliefs in person. I've not dealt with anyone in person like that or interacted online with that. I mean, it's straightforward. I usually tell when it comes up about COVID-19 and mandates and stuff like that come into effect, I usually just say, look, I'm going by the science and the precautions. Doesn't hurt me to be cautious. That's all. You know, I know people complain about the masks and wearing the masks and they hate it, but you know what? If it's a mandate that's in place, it's not going to hurt me. It's really not going to hurt me. I'm just going to do it. Vaccines, I've had some discussions about it, and I've gone through the science of it and tried to explain it the best I could. But I've never had an issue where conspiracy theories like this comes up. I mean, that I almost want to say, like, I'm hesitant. I want to say it would be so much fun for someone to come up to me and say Bill Gates caused this, because we would get into it. But at the big picture, it's not fun. It really, there is nothing fun about that, because so many people have died from it, and we're still on the tail end of it, and it's still affecting people. But yeah, it's not really fun. Anyway, so to answer your question in short form, no, I have not dealt with this. I've not dealt with this personally. But I mean, if it does come my way, show me the nanotech, because I got my shots. If I better be able to form an Iron Man suit around me if I got some nanotech shit in here. So that's all I got to say about that. All right, we do have someone that came on. Let me do a quick check of my comments here and say, all right, we're good. So here we go. Let me. Oh, how do I take this? I got to get this comment off. How do I do that? I need Donna. All right, here we go. 3 and 2 and 1.
What
the fuck are you doing?
It's a bag of clothes.
Why?
I did it. Yeah. What's up? What are we talking about?
I don't know. You came on here with a bag of clothes in your head.
Yeah, here's my dog.
Oh,
Um,
what's up, John? Without an H.
hey, nothing. I'm gonna take these off. A little hot.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
Oh God. All right. So I don't have the video, unfortunately, of our recreation of the chapel. I've got the audio of the original incident, if you're
So
interested.
why don't you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, hi, I'm John, without an H. I'm on a
You're famous.
I am. Yeah, that's what I hear. Got like 10 fans, it's pretty great. But yeah, I'm on it feels weird to call us a ghost hunting team. But I mean, I guess that's what we are.
You
It's
could be like an
it's like
investigative team.
yeah. I mean, labels are weird. Like I don't know how we define ourselves, which I guess I probably should. But yeah, we part of the Ghost Guild, and we're I guess ghost hunting investigative team, whatever. And we had a new team member one night at this Mordecai house or Mordecai mansion. We had like a brand new team member, Christina, and like we try to like do like an open-minded approach. Like we try to show here's all the different things and all the different ways for how like investigations work. Also, like when we get people to join our team, we're not looking for like random people that just want to investigate. Like we like people with like real life skills. Not to say that anybody who's on the ghost hunting team doesn't have a real life skill, but we're looking for like archaeologists, we're looking for like scientists, we're looking for things of that nature. And Christina was big in like anthropology, and so like she had she's seen like TV shows and stuff, and so like I guess I was like in charge of like showing her how we do stuff. And so like we had gone into Mordecai, the actual house, and I was like, here's how we do investigations. Like, or here's how I do them, because we all kind of do things a little different on the team. So one thing I like about our team, we all have different beliefs, we have like different skill sets, we all like work really well together, which I think is really cool. And so I showed her how I do stuff, which is I don't ask questions in the dark and I leave the lights on. And yeah, I just kind of hang out. And because when people see ghosts, what if they're not sitting around asking questions in the dark, right? So why are we doing that? And so yeah, I was like, yeah, I just hang out and like talk about life and stuff. And if a ghost pops in, a ghost pops in. That'd be kind of cool. Hasn't happened yet, and maybe one day. But
So
yeah, so like
you were with Christine, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very long-winded. I apologize. So like I showed her how we do stuff, and then we think it's important to show people all ways, just so like they can understand why things don't work, right? Like we bring out the ghost boxes and the spirit boxes, so like you can understand, why those can cause auditory hallucinations and stuff. And so like I did like a classic EVP session with her. So like when you hear the audio, you hear me doing this like classic EVP session, which I personally do not find much value in. Some people on our team do. And so like we're doing this classic EVP session, and then like I asked like a question, like, your typical like, question you ask in the dark, like, hey, I don't remember. I've got the audio. But it was basically like show us the sign of your presence. And this like voice is the best way to explain it. Just like went, oh, it was like right coming from the middle of the chapel, it sounded like. And I was like, you're kidding me. Like, this is real dumb. I'm sitting here trying to show her the inappropriate way to do it, and all this crazy stuff's happening. And so it was a head scratcher for sure. Like, my initial assumption was it was just a car outside. And it did sound like electronic, but it was nuts because it sounded like it was right in the middle of the chapel. And it sounded like, like a voice. It was crazy.
I think I can play it. If you're
I can forward you the yeah. I'm totally.
You send me the file.
Yeah.
I just found it. So let me see if I can I don't know if I
Cool.
can do this.
Don't
See my Facebook page screen, but I don't give a shit. because there's nothing on it.
No,
Right.
no.
So, all right.
Listen,
So I'm
dude.
going to play it and see if it comes over. Let me know if you hear it.
I assumed you moved it because Michael had asked you to do something. I assumed you moved it for a reason. So if you would like to do it again or make some kind of noise that's more than just a simple knock, we're here. I assume that's a radio noise.
I hope so.
Even though it sounds like it was coming from like right there.
It's-
So everyone hard to hear. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a better copy, but I wasn't ready for this. But basically, you're explaining the session, and you're like, yeah, basically we ask a question and wait for something to happen, and then you hear this in the background. Well, at least on the recording, you hear in the background like this.
Yeah.
It's a weird sound. It sounds like a female voice because it's higher pitched, and it doesn't sound like anything. Like it doesn't sound like words are forming. It's just this weird sound, almost like someone's in pain or dying. You know, like that classic goofy kind of movie, like someone's dying, like
You should become an actor.
You both laugh about it. So then you reached out to me at one point, and we talked about it, and I think we talked about it twice.
Yeah.
I think you had sent it to me a while ago, and then sent it to me a little bit more recent, and we talked about it. One of the things that I offered or suggested was that maybe, because you told me where it was, Mordecai, right? Mordecai?
Mordecai, yeah. I think the family's original name was Mordecai, then they kind of anglicized it to Mordecai.
So this is like a historic park almost, where it's almost like they took all the historic buildings in the area and then put them in this park, right? Is that am I correct with that?
Yeah, so the house is on the original location, but they've put like Andrew Johnson's house, or what they think is Andrew Johnson's house, onto the park. So like the chapel wasn't original, but they put it on the park.
Right.
A lot of like the local Raleigh like landmarks they've kind of put in this like really close by park.
Okay. So when we were talking about it, and you said, you know, like, oh, there's a chapel on it. I knew what it was because I had the opportunity to visit that place. So I knew what you were talking about. I had taken pictures. I was in the chapel. So I knew where it was. And you also sent me a map showing the grounds and the chapel in relation to the roads that are next to it. And these are regular streets, modern streets with modern cars on it. And it wasn't that far. And it was almost like, I think it's close to a corner, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the things I suggested was like maybe a car was going by and had the windows open and they were blasting music, and it just, as it drove by, you heard that the almost like a Doppler effect kind of going on, where you didn't you didn't hear the music until it was like right perpendicular with where you were sitting,
right,
at the chapel, and then as it passed by, that was it. Or another thing I said was like maybe somebody was in the car and they happened to just yell or say something really loud at that time, and the car kept driving, and in which case you would never identify what was going on because you were inside the chapel.
Yeah.
However, with those suggestions, you guys went back, right?
Yeah. So and you know, my in the audio, I even say like I assumed that was a car. But the two things that bothered me were, one, there was no Doppler effect in the audio, and where my assumption was like if a car had just stopped, they would be stopping in the middle of the road, and that's kind of weird. And two, the fact that it didn't sound like to my ears. And by the way, like I bring a notepad, by the way, in my Kenny Biddle fanny pack.
My goodness, look at that. He's got a fanny pack.
I got my notepad.
Nice.
I've got my flashlight, which I hate to use because why are the lights off? I've got my spirit level.
Oh, nice,
see.
nice.
My battery checker, very, very important.
Very good.
And my audio recorder, which I don't really use, which I probably should. Yeah, so those are the things that just like initially bothered, because it was something like I could just dismiss, like, oh, car audio, whatever. And we tried a little bit to like replicate it, and we just couldn't do it. And I wasn't settled, because I feel like, no offense to other ghost teams out there, but if any other ghost team, hunting team picked this up, they would be like, oh yeah, it was a voice in the chapel, spirits are singing, proof of ghosts, it's over. And like, I wanted to figure it out and solve the mystery, right? Like I wasn't comfortable just saying I don't know with this particular one. Which is, I normally am okay with not knowing, but I wanted to know on this one. And so I sent a document to you in our private chat. I don't know if you see it or not, if you can show it to the team, but like something that we do is like, we like to solve mysteries. And we have like a scientific document, like step, like we come up with a hypothesis. We think for days, weeks, months, sometimes. This one literally I was thinking about for months. Like we come up with a hypothesis, we come up with experiments, we come up, with ways to like test those experiments. And we had come up with several for this one, like maybe with someone outside talking, someone playing a prank, all sorts of things. And like we had this guideline like ready to go, and we had several hypotheses, and I had stopped thinking it was a car just because no Doppler effect or anything else. But we got Nick. We filmed
before you go on. For those that might not understand, the Doppler effect is, and if you ever seen the Big Bang Theory, I mean they get into it because Sheldon dresses up in a Doppler effect costume, but it's basically, to put it simply, if a car goes by and it's like the racing car sound, you hear the hear it as it comes closer, but then more as it goes away. You get that effect of it of the sound diminishing as it goes away. But that's what you're talking about. There was no increase and decrease. It was just there.
Right.
So go ahead.
And that bothered me. And so I figured you'd be proud of this document. Actually, Ben Radford's book inspired me to kind of create this. So, and so, we had come up with this, we had thought through it. And then the day of, we have this whole film that's going to come out one day. I wish I had the video for you today. Because we do have to give like a presentation to like Mordecai once a year. And a lot of it we have to save for that. But, and so, we drove and like we were playing audio and I wasn't interested in replicating it perfectly. I just needed something that was close, right. And it wasn't working. And but then like all of a sudden, like one of the things that we wanted to do was have Nick sit in his car and play this audio like at the stop sign, like way far away. And I don't know why, and I still haven't figured out, but it doesn't matter. That audio from him sitting at the stop sign, like really far away, something weird happens with the sound where the sound like will, I guess, bounce off the chapel in such a way that it freaking sounds like someone is singing in the middle of the chapel. And it was nuts. Like it was so freaking cool and so much fun to like replicate that. And like we did it again and again and again and again, and like it was perfect. And awesome. We've got it all on video, and and that's like like one of my things like I want to do is like bring evangelism to the masses, or bring skepticism to the masses. Like I want to evangelize skepticism. And there was someone on our team that night. She was like, Devin. She was like, I felt something when I heard the voice, like those voices, like that felt good. And I was like, hell yeah, like let's keep doing this shit. You know what I mean? Like and so it was because I've been wanting to do more of this stuff, and like there's a perception that solving mysteries is boring, but chasing ghosts is fun. And it's fun as shit to do this stuff. Like we've done it all the time, and it's great. I love it. I think it's boring to explain, but it's freaking blast. Like when you can replicate something like that.
This is something. This is why I keep doing it, and this is what I call the Scooby-Doo effect, because it's just you go from ghost hunting, which is that hobby where everything is spooky and you get that thrill, you get that like roller coaster kind of thrill from being scared. And then once you move into a skeptical approach where you're like, all right, well, let me investigate this more. When you find something like this example is great because it's something that's really fucking weird, and you're trying, you can't figure out what it is, and it's like, what's going on? And then when you find it, when you keep working and you actually find it and you can recreate it over and over and over again, it's amazing. It's a nerdgasm, basically. Yeah. And that's I mean, I'm trying to find, let's see. So I found pictures of the chapel. I want to show what it looks like inside, and let me know, make sure this is actually what we're looking at here. So I think Mordecai.
Yeah, that's the chapel. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the outside of it. It's small. This is the front, obviously, and then you have it's a big echo chamber. That's what I see here. It's got a balcony up here, but it's a big echo chamber, and I remember that. I know I have pictures somewhere of it. That's from the balcony looking down.
And that's where we were sitting at the time, and it sounded like it was coming from like right where the bride was, right there. It was crazy. Wow. Yeah.
And I have no doubt that the sound was probably coming in the window and bouncing around this entire because it's huge inside. I mean, it's an echo chamber. Like I said, if there's nothing else in there to absorb the sound, so it's good. Like, I mean, in the houses you have carpet. Some of us, furniture, fabric, all this absorbs the sound. But when you have a place like this, it's hardwood floors, flat walls, curved ceiling. I don't know what the exact ceiling looks like all the way up top.
That was the interesting thing. It doesn't appear to be curved, but I'm sure it is because it's a white ceiling. So I'm sure it's like rounded at the top, and it
looks like. I'm looking at the pictures again where it's
also have a terrible memory, so
well, it's all right. That one picture it shows it's almost a vaulted ceiling. So let's see, I'll show you guys again. So yeah, you can see here it doesn't you can see it goes in, it's not completely curved, but it goes in section here. So yeah, I can totally see this would be really, really good for that. This is almost like if anyone's been to Gettysburg, there's a memorial there, the Forgotten Soldier, I think that's what it's called, and it's got like a half moon bench, concrete cement bench that goes around this memorial, and you can stand on one side, and when you're end to end. If you go across the diameter, you're probably about 20, 25 feet, maybe 30 feet apart. But if you whisper at the one end of the bench, if you're standing at the other end, you can hear the whisper. It goes around it. And I can see that happening here. So really good though. I mean, that was great. When you sent me the message, it's like, we did it. We figured it out.
I think we were. And I won't take up too much more of your time, but like we just did like the battleship USS North Carolina a couple weekends ago, and before that we had another we had this instance. I sent you the video for that where it sounds like something's hitting the springs in this bed, and we didn't figure out what it was, and that's okay. But we took that was like a public investigation that we do like twice a year. We bring people with us. And, we had people that were using dowsing rods and spirit boxes. We had some mediums and things like that. And I explained to them, I invited them down and everyone was super interested. We came and I was like, hey, what we're going to try to do is find a normal, rational explanation for this. And I explained Occam's razor, and you had people walking around who the rest of the night we're using like spirit boxes and being mediums and things like that, trying to figure out a rational explanation. And I was just like, fucking love this, man. And they had a blast. You know what I mean? And so like if I can get them, you know, if I planted a seed for them to later on be like, well, why aren't we doing this for my dowsing rods? Like, why am I not applying logic to my dowsing rods? You know what I mean? Like that's the stuff I love. It's so much fun. And I was glad, part of me was glad we didn't find an explanation, because I was able to be like, hey, we couldn't figure it out, and that's okay, because like just because you don't know doesn't mean that a ghost hit the bed or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I loved it. I love this stuff. It's fun.
Dowsing rods. I mean, I love testing those. I have the tester that
I got.
Let me see here. I have this one that I use, which locks them into place. Like you're still holding on to the sleeves.
Yeah. Is that what Mitch made?
Yeah. That's the one Mitch. I bought the rest of them that he had, and I sold them all. So that's really good. I also, a cool trick, which I've done a couple times, is when somebody's really confident that they're really talking to spirits or something like that, I set up a video camera level with their arms. So if they're holding the rods out like this, the camera's level with their hands.
Oh.
And then I record them, and then I play the video back at at least two times speed.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the movement is really apparent. I love doing that. I absolutely love doing that.
Nelson was asking me about, like, he was wanting to get, you know, what Mitch has and like what you have, or at least like figure out how to make it or something.
Yeah, well, remind me when you guys come up. I'll bring it with me.
Awesome.
That way you guys can play with it and take pictures and
maybe figure out how to replicate it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you good? You good?
Yeah.
You want to talk about what you got? Something coming up? You got anything coming up you want to promote?
I mean, we've always got something coming up. Most of it is just our own little adventures and stuff. I do say we do have a podcast launching on May 25th is the tentative date. We've been trying to launch it since October, so we'll see if that's going to actually work. I think it is. But yeah, we're doing the Ghosts and Stuff podcast, which that title still makes me laugh. I don't know why it makes me laugh, but that is a long effort of not being able to figure out a title and just saying, who cares? Just pick a title. And so, yeah, we're you know, I think we all have different reasons for wanting to do the podcast, but also some very similar reasons. There'll be three of us, Michael, Devin, and myself. And we're going to be kind of take a topic for a month, and Michael's going to kind of talk about the history of that topic. Our first topic is ghost hunting, so Michael's going to kind of delve into like the history and kind of explore that in the first episode. Devin will follow up, and whatever the topic is for the month, she'll talk about like the folklore, maybe some of the claims and things like surrounding the topic. So she'll kind of talk about, you know, how ghost hunting is done. And then I'm going to follow up with like science, reasoning, even like philosophy of the paranormal, and kind of be a dirty skeptic in a nice way. But like my goal is to like really, you know, be skeptical, but like not have a show for skeptics, like my part, but like be a skeptic and have a show really to believers. Like I really want to gear the show towards believers, just because they need to hear it too, right? And then we're going to come back on the fourth Sunday of every month at 7 p.m. Sorry, John, with an H. And we're going to kind of have like a live show or similar to this. People get together and ask questions and just kind of hang out. So
awesome.
Check us out.
Right.
I'm sure once I have socials and stuff, I'll be posting them everywhere. But we would love to have everybody in here.
Cool.
It'd be fun.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on. Thanks for giving that example. That's great. That was awesome. And thank you for the bag of clothes on your head.
I hear you can buy these.
You can buy them, yes, off a website that's in the commercial. Show me the data. All right, buddy. Take it easy.
All right. Thank you. See you soon.
Bye. Awesome. Whew. All right, let me see. I have a couple questions in the queue here. So if you have any more, we still got about maybe like 15 minutes left in the show. So if you have a quick question, we can do like a shotgun round. If you want to get in some quick questions, I can just go through and give you like quick answers real quick. That's up to you guys. So the first one up is Tiffany says, I am an accountant. Is that a skill you're looking for? Well, I'm not sure because Donna has a background. Her background is accounting. So I don't think I've ever asked her. I mean, no, I don't think I've ever asked about that, but it's good to know because you never know. You never know what you might come across and you might need like to clarify something. Because I'm always, I do ask her a lot of questions, mostly about Excel, because I suck at using Microsoft Excel. But I ask her questions about that. You never know what direction you're going to go when you're investigating any of these mysteries. You just don't. I mean, I've investigated all kinds of shit where I was like, I had no idea I was going to get into this. And I'm examples totally escape me right now. I have no clue. I'm totally having a brain fart here. But yeah, you never know. So I'll keep that in mind. All right. John Guy on memory. I couldn't have been happier than when Elizabeth Loftus told me I wrote an excellent chapter on memory that is a great contribution to the field. That is awesome, dude. I'm still excited. I'm stoked for your book to come out because I'm very excited about it. But yeah, Elizabeth, I met her once at SciCon, and I think that was the last SciCon that we had before, in the before times. And she was so nice. I have no idea. You go to, so SciCon is a big science conference, if you don't know. And when you go to these things, I geek out just as much as I do when I go to like a Comic-Con and I meet people on the sci-fi shows that I really admire, or I really love their shows. So you never know when you walk up to someone like how they're going to react. Are they going to be like, get away from me? You're weird, because that's true. You never know. But I went up to Elizabeth. She was sitting down at a table, and I went up. She looked up at me, and I said, I hope I'm not bothering you. If I am, please let me know. But I was wondering if I could get an autograph because I just bought your book. And she's like, absolutely. Come on out. Sit down. I was like, oh, yeah. And she's autographed. She's writing it. She's asking me questions. I'm like, I'm sitting next to Elizabeth Loftus. I was totally geeking out. I mean, it's totally geeking out. And I loved it. She was so sweet. She was awesome. So I'm hoping to see her this year. Hoping. We'll see. All right. And with that, I think that's the last question. I know there's a statement here. Tiffany, I am stuck in Excel hell all day. So Excel keeps my way. Oh, I use it because I have to with a lot of the freelance work that I do. But I hate it's so confusing. I know like my little tricks. I know how to do exactly what I need to do, and that's it. But when I have to deviate from that, it's like, Donna, how do I fix this? I broke it. I broke something. I don't know how to fix this. Let's see. Going down, everybody. CJ, I think that would make an interesting show. Is how a Baconian scientific method affected philosophy and theology. Okay. All right. I think we're at the end because I don't see any more questions. I don't see any more statements. So I am going to do my announcements, and we'll see. We might. Oh, shit! Bob's sneaking one in. Using people in real life. Who is your Paranormal Avengers team? Do they have to be alive? Yeah, that's it. That's my question. Do they have to be alive? Because I think, wow, Paranormal Avengers team. No, they don't have to be alive. Harry Houdini, number one. I would definitely pick Tim and Dave because we have such great discussions and different perspectives. I love that. Ben Radford, absolutely. I would hit Joe Nickel on that. Susan Gerbic. Sharon Hill, because I love her mentality and outlook on some of this stuff. Elizabeth Loftus. Who else? Wow, Mick West, because he's the go-to guy for UFOs. Holy shit! I mean, yeah. Who else? Mark Edward, because he's good with cold reading, hot reading. There's a bunch of people I think I would pick. There's so many people because I mean the Avengers were pretty big. There was a lot of Avengers, so I mean I can really keep going with this. But Harry Houdini would be that would be number one. And there'd be a lot. JD Sword. I mean he's a shy guy. I love you, JD, but he's a good investigator. He asks a lot of questions and he just gets in there. So good guy. James Randi. I mean, yeah, because I'm still in the mentality. I know you said they don't have to be alive, but I still have that mentality of like who's alive that I can grab in. But James Randi would definitely be a pick as well. Oh man, I'm drawing total blank now. I actually, I can just cheat. I can cheat and look at my my books back here and say, oh, you know what? Kendrick Frazier, Carl Sagan, Maria Konnikova, yeah, because she talks about memory too. Dr. Julia Shaw, which is another memory expert, which I'm trying to, I'd love to get her on the show because I think that would be fun too. Who else? Paul Kurtz, he's passed for a while. There's a lot. There's really a lot. Penn and Teller. Oh, that's a good one too. Yes, absolutely. I would pick John with that age from a Paranormal Dream Team. Just making you say this out loud so I can record it. Show it out later. You dick. Lucas, what's up, buddy? Has there ever been something you were skeptical of that turned out to be true the deeper you investigated it? That's I'm confused on how to answer that because skeptical of I mean, if you're talking about life in general, then yeah, there's been a few times that I've been wrong. There's been quite a few times I've been wrong. But with paranormal stuff, if we're talking just paranormal, like ghosts and demons and Bigfoot and like UFOs and stuff, no, I don't have an example for you. Because it's either fallen under we were able to solve the mystery or it's still a mystery. So I've never had something fall into the category of like I was skeptical that it was something paranormal and it actually turned out to be paranormal. I have never come across that. So maybe that answered your question. I'm not sure. But that's as far as I can go with that. Houdini? Yes, absolutely Houdini. Houdini would be my number one pick. Absolutely. Good, John, without an H. All right, with that, I'm going to get to, let's see, Squid Bob's announcements. Squid Game Bob's announcements. Where'd they go? Oh, that's right. I changed it. Let's see. First, I have to, let's see. What do I have to do? I have to put this up. So right now, Saturdays, usually, but not this time, at 8 p.m. on Saturdays, I have a show called Three Tortured Souls, which I co-host with Tim Vickers and Dave Schumacher. We do not have a show this week because the other two guys cannot make it. They have previous engagements. So we have a weekend off. So I'm probably going to be stuck right here doing work. April 30th, if you're interested, the National Capital Area Skeptics, which is the NCAS, will be hosting a talk by Susan Gerbic. She is coming over. She's she's phenomenal. I love Susan so much. but on April 30th, she will be down there. It's right outside of DC, Washington, DC. I think it's there. I'll put a link on my page. And look for it because it's there. If you look up National Capital Area Skeptics, you'll see the event and you can get the address and all that. But she's going to be talking about, I think, grief vampires and Wikipedia, because she does a lot of Wikipedia editing. Let's see what else we got. July 16th and 17th is the Skeptical virtual conference. I will be speaking there. It's a virtual conference, so I'm going to be here actually speaking on it. But I'm going to be talking about my my journey from ghost hunter to skeptical investigator, and I think that's July 16th that I'll be talking. So check my page for more on that schedule. Excuse me. July 23rd is the Power Unity Conference in Woodbridge, New Jersey. I'll be there. Donna will be there with her Lucky Tiki Creations booth. I'll be there with my Skeptical Help booth. That's right. Answering all your skeptical questions. Oh, with a smile. August 19th and 21st is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. I will be there. That's probably, and I know I say this all the time, it's probably one of the best party weekends ever. It's just so much fun. I spend the day. Donna will be set up with her Lucky Tiki Creations. I will be set up with my Skeptical Help bar. I'm also going to be on a discussion panel for that conference. But you spend the day interacting with people. It's such a great time, and then every night is a big party. So I absolutely love it. I enjoy it every year that I go. They are very accommodating. They are very tolerant of people like me, because I'm pretty much the goldfish in a shark tank when I go to paranormal conferences. You have all these ghost hunters and psychics and metaphysical people, and then here's this big freaking bright orange sign that says Skeptical Help Bar. So it's a lot of fun. Everyone has fun with it. They like it. So and then the last event I have so far is October 20th and 23rd is SciCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll be out there. I'm going to be speaking on the big stage. I'm so excited and nervous at the same time, because that's like the big freaking stage. I got a half hour to talk, and I'm going to talk about bridging the gap between some believers and skeptics. And I say some because, on both ends you have the extremists, but we're going to talk about that. And I'm in the process of developing that talk. So hopefully it will be good, or I'm just never going to show my face again. With that, also I want to mention that if you want to, you can help me out. And I have to give a shout out to everyone so far. Let me see. Let me take this off. So these are all my patrons so far. If you want to help out, the patreon.com/Kenny Biddle. That helps me out with the show. And I got to give everyone that all their names that are scrolling across the screen now. And there it goes. You guys have helped keep me on the air for another year, because the subscription for StreamYard just came up. And because of you guys, I was able to renew the subscription. So I'll be doing this show for another year. Woohoo! We'll all be drinking together for another year. Yay! But big shout out to these guys, because you really help me out. Not only do you help me keep the show going, but little experiments here and there that you don't see. I mean, the people that are Patreons get to see the background stuff. So I show pictures and videos, and I do updates when I can of things I'm working on. So if you want to, it's cool. If not, it's cool. Don't worry. I don't like pressuring people, so I always feel weird. Anyway, with that said, I think that's it. I think I'm done. I think I'm done for the night. I'm gonna go play video games the rest of the weekend because why not? Donna's not home. I have nothing planned, so there you go. And there's no show tomorrow night. So shit, what the hell am I going to do? Anyway, but buy the merch. That's required. That's right, John without an H. Hey, Tim Vickers showed up. It's about time, bitch. Yeah, you're late. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending your Friday night with me and with everyone else, all the locals that come out every week and hang out at the Skeptical Help Bar. You guys are awesome, and you make this show what it is. So with that said, have a great weekend. Be safe. And I will see you next week. And remember, never stop learning. Bye.